Another day of me being so sweaty, and this right now is irking me because the reason that I like long hair is the ability to braid it or put it into a ponytail so that it's off my neck. And so now I have these braids, but this is just on the back of my neck constantly. And like, technically, I guess I could put it in a little ponytail. However, one, I don't have another ponytail, and two, that would look super ridiculous. The pizza was such a disappointment. He also I really think he's so nice. But something's just like off. Because I was sitting on the porch, journaling last night. Wow, my hands look gross. They are gross right now. He had picked up his kids from karate, and I was sitting on the porch, and he like drove by, and then I guess saw that I was outside, and then backed up his car all the way to this little hut to then open the trunk and ask if I want pizza. And he just like, they had 3 pizzas, and he just like laid them all out on the ground and opened all of them. Like, I was expecting him to just like say, hey, pizza's up at the house, but nope. One was like a supreme pizza, and the like meat was under all of the everything. One was a taco pizza, so there's just all of anything that would be in a taco, and I couldn't see meat, but that I also assumed that there was probably like ground beef like under all of it because it was like a mountain. And then there was barbecue chicken pineapple. Is that a Hawaiian pizza? Is there a name? I don't know. I know cheese, pepperoni, and margarita. Those are my or like buffalo chicken. I just assumed Hawaiian was just pineapple, but maybe, I don't know. It was barbecue sauce instead of regular sauce, and then cheese, and then chicken, and then pineapple. And I was like, well, I guess I'll pick that one because it's the easiest to like get the chicken off. But the slices were like this big, and I didn't have a plate or anything because I wasn't prepared to be receiving pizza on my front porch. So I just like grabbed 2 little slices and had to like wait for him to leave so I could like flick the pizza off and try to feed it to the cat. So I was really excited for pizza, and then it was really let down. But it's fine. I literally did not see Shiki at all yesterday or today. It is like 6 p.m. today, and I have not seen her once. I gotta talk quietly because that weird guy is coming. But so today I woke up, made myself pancakes again, and then I went out and weeded for like an hour. The thing is like, it's not hard. Like, it's tiring, but I feel like when you're with someone else and you're just kind of like talking and just going from plant to plant, one, it's faster because you only have to do one side of the plant, but then there's a distraction, and so you really don't realize like how long it's taking or how far you've gone. I haven't seen Shiki, and we never exchange numbers, so I can't just text her and be like, hey. But so like, I don't take my phone out there because I feel like I'm gonna drop it, and there's no reason for me to really have it out there anyway. I went out there, I started another row, and ended up only being an hour. There was such long grass and thick that I braided it. I may or may not go take a picture or video, but that was fun. It was not productive, but it was fun. Oh, I have to read. I was gonna eat. This was my problem with my like social anxiety, is that guy Nathan. I don't wanna like be okay. I did it because he made me uncomfy. He didn't do anything, but just like the humming at all the time kind of freaked me out. And then just like the way that he was around was freaking me out. But so I was like gonna go make lunch, and then he was in there in the kitchen. So I just pretended like I was getting water, and I was like, oh, I'll just wait till he's gone. But every time that I like would go, he was still in the kitchen, and so I just never had lunch. So I was hanging out, and then I heard noises, and I look, and Martin had the bobcat with the, what was it called, a trench digger. I don't know if that's what it was called, but that's what it was. That just had like the little corkscrew thing on the front of it, and just like, which I was just thinking about how in Arkansas, one of the things that I didn't end up helping with because I was not wanting anything to do with Nate. McKenna and Amundi helped him, was digging a little trench to have like the rainwater flow into one of the ponds by hand with a bunch of shovels. And I'm like, it literally would have taken maybe 30 seconds with this thing. But yeah, so he was digging that. So then I went over and I was like, oh, do you need help? So then I helped him set up the irrigation system for the blueberries, and we like put the line in the ground and like covered it with dirt, and then at the patch we had to do more stuff. The thing is, so then Nathan came, Martin was like showing us stuff. I wasn't, wow, why can't, the days that I get like the most sun is when I'm wearing like high neck, and so like my whole front body is still pale, but my arms are just getting more and more tan. I was just thinking he was explaining stuff to us just to like know, like, oh yeah, this is what you're doing, like fun fact. And so we did one line of the blueberries, and Martin was like, yeah, I think I'm gonna go like feed my kids and hang out with them for a while. You guys are welcome to keep going or be done for the day. And I'm like, I think we should be done for the day. And then that guy just like walked right back over there and started working. I'm like, well, I feel bad just like peacing out. So I was like, okay, he's probably gonna do just like one more row. No, we ended up doing 2 more rows, which fortunately, here's what I will say. So it was just me and him, which we primarily did not talk at all. He was like, oh, if you want, I can. So, okay, back up. I don't know how much all you folk know about irrigation systems, but there's a like irrigation tubing that there's like little slits every like, I don't know, 1.5 to 2 feet apart, and then that part is like the water just kind of like drips out little by little. You have to like set it up so that it's like in the middle of the plant and that it's dripping, you know, into the plant. He was like, oh, I can move. I really need to go take a video of this patch so you can see. All of the plants are like in little clusters, not where we need them. So he's like, I can move them. And again, they're a bajillion pounds. I can move them if you want to like put them where they're supposed to go with the tube. And I was like, yeah, that sounds great. And I'm so impressed by this man's strength and stamina. I think it's just a man thing in general, but also like probably blue collar man. Like they're just used to just working. Because literally all morning he was like filling dirt buckets, and I don't even know what that he was doing, but he was doing it for a long time, and then just doing this and just carrying over and over, and he didn't seem out of breath at all. And I'm like, good for you. Like, he would ask me questions, and I'm like, I feel like you're kind of dumb, because like I don't know what I'm doing, but like I heard directions and listened to them, and then like he would ask a question. I'm like, Martin literally just told us, like, you were there, and he's like asking me questions, and I know the answers because I listened to Martin. And it just, and then like, I don't know, how he was doing things was like questionable. And then I was like, wow, you really need brains and brawn to make something happen. But then I was thinking about how, like, it was like 3 or 4 years ago at this point when I was working at Blake's the first time, when I first discovered Ray, before I knew it, like, well, I think at that point I realized that he was a Blake, but I remember overhearing him talk about how he like spent his whole weekend cutting down Christmas trees, and I told Wyatt that, and Wyatt was like, that's hot. And I was like, it is, isn't it? Which, meh. But yeah, I think there's something about men like doing manual labor that is attractive. But what I discovered today is the extra layer of like, well, I already knew that I don't like stupid people, and I don't want to be the smart one in the relationship. Not that I want to like be dumb, but like I want equal. Like, I don't want to be asked questions that make me think that you're stupid, which applies to all people, not just like relationships. Like, I don't like stupid people. I'm like, I really like that you can just carry all these buckets like it's nothing, but I also would like you to be smarter. That's very mean. This is no issue with him. I mean, it's not like I was ever trying to date this man anyway, but I'm just thinking about that, where it's like the attractiveness of being strong only takes you so far in my eyes. Like, you gotta have the brains too. But I also don't want like only brains, because anyway, this is not important at all. Also, when I first met this guy, I thought he was like my age, and now seeing him like really up close, I have no idea, because he has like a baby face, but he has like pretty intense like wrinkles. But I'm like, he's a blue collar man. Like, if he spent his whole life pretty much just like outside, you know, in the sun working, like, imagine that kind of, you know, roughens up your face a bit. But yeah, like, he's nice. Fortunate he wasn't humming when we were working. Also, so there's no dryer here. There's a washer. There's no dryer anywhere. So you just have to like hang your clothes on clotheslines. And I went out this morning, and I assume it's his clothes, that there's a fence that goes along this way, and all his clothes are hung up, and I just like his little undies, like, and he has like 3 of the same shirt, and it's very entertaining to me. I really need to shower because I'm like visibly actually dirty, but I also really need to eat because I didn't have lunch. So I think I'm gonna go make dinner and then shower. And then I have to pack because I'm leaving tomorrow, which also there's been like that's not been mentioned. And the lady, so I asked the lady if I could change my dates to come on the 4th, and she said yes, but she didn't adjust it in the system. So that part's like stressing me out, but it's fine. I asked her if there was a time she wanted me to get there. I said anytime after 3, because I figure it's like 2.5 hours away, and I don't want to like rush out of here. So I figure if I leave at like noonish, and then I might stop at the store on the way there. But yeah, I don't know. I'm like excited but nervous, because like now I've gotten comfortable here, so I'm like, oh yeah, I could stay here for another week. Like, and I do think, again, the thing I felt I was lacking in Arkansas was, it was hard to feel like accomplished. That's not the word. The work fulfilled. the work I'm doing here is more fulfilling. I know like what needs to get done. It makes sense why it needs to get done, and you can like visibly see a difference when it's done. That's like everything here that I've done so far. Whereas again, in Arkansas, it was just like they would just every day they were like, well, weeding still needs to get done. And I'm like, but what are we weeding? Like, I feel like there's bigger fish to fry here, but like I don't know. I'm glad that that was my first stay, because I feel like in the moment, because I had nothing to compare it to, it was just like, well, this is what it is. And like, as you all know, like there were things to complain about, but it was still like a fine time, pretty much exclusively due to McKenna. Shout out. But here, like, I don't have a McKenna. I thought I might sort of with Shiki, but then we worked together like twice and I've never seen her again. But yeah, like the work itself I feel fulfilled doing, and like I'm actually getting a workout. Yeah, now as soon as I've gotten comfortable, now I'm gonna go throw myself into something else. Really don't know what to expect at all with that, which hopefully means tomorrow I can start uploading everything. Yeah. This is perhaps my last video in the hut, the shack. This is where you stay. Is this piano? This might be it for Blueberried Alive. You know, my whole time here, never got a blueberry and never got a chestnut. So, maybe next time. I think one of the things that bothers me about that guy is that everywhere I go, he's there. I don't like that. Every single time I go to the kitchen, he's there. Or like, walk by the bathroom, he's there. Even working, like, I was going out to the field and he was like in the blueberries. Not the blueberries I was going to, but like I had to pass him to get there. And then helping Nate set the thing up, all of a sudden he just appeared and he was there. I was gonna go make dinner, and I walk in the kitchen and he's just sitting on a chair there. He's not even eating. He's just hanging out in the kitchen. So naturally I left. I don't know, we're just gonna wait until hopefully he leaves. But I'm hungry because I didn't have lunch because he was in the kitchen then. I really need to get over this. It'd be one thing if he was like chatty and was like, whenever he was where I was like talking and like making conversation so that it wasn't like awkward. But he just stares. So it makes me uncomfortable. So anyway, there's that.